Okay, so here we are on step 4 of the traffic module, question and answer platforms. Now, this is a great way to get targeted traffic. I'm talking like laser focused, hyper focused traffic to your business because these people are actively searching for resources and answers to their problem, whatever challenge they're going through, or they're just curious about a specific subject, whether they be curious or they're like have a challenge that they're going through and they're like looking for good answers or other people's experiences. And a lot of time people like to go to these platforms like Quora and Reddit just to get answers and see how other people are experiencing this issue and what they have to say. People like to go to these places where they can get answers to the questions from people who have either experience or they're experts in their field. So this is a great place that you can go to get maximum engagement for your subject matter, especially if it's already what people are looking for to begin with. So this is like limitless traffic formula times two. If you're already familiar with that, the LTF is basically a free guide that I created a while back. And if you're on this course, you might have already gone through this process, but basically it's a guide that shows you how to use question and answer platforms as well as forums and get targeted, laser target, basically unlimited traffic from there. And then I give you a format to use here is the outline, like a layout for the structure and style of your answer. So the way it works is we have, now that we have our blog created and our website and we have content and we have everything structured and optimized, so we can actually start sending traffic to it. So a way to do that, a free way, and this is why I like the limitless traffic formula so much, because it's a free way to get traffic, is basically you pick a subject, whatever subject you're in. So if you're, let's just say the internet marketing niche, you just break your answer down into 4 different steps. Now, this is just for the hypothetical case if someone asks, how do you make money on the internet, or what is a go-to guide for a beginner when it comes to internet marketing? A question the likes of that, where someone's asking for the best go-to guide for a beginner for internet marketing, making money online, or this is just the example for this question. So, and then the answer we format it in a way where it's broken down into different sections. So we just want to do that because it helps us for the rest of the format here. So this is the first section. We just basically break down our answer that we give them into 4 different steps. So step 1 would be pick a market. Step 2, pick an offer. Host an offer is step 3, and then step 4 is get targeted traffic. So we can break that down. Part 1 of the answer, we can basically just talk about the market portion, and we can start to get a little bit into the getting to the offer, and then we link to a blog post that's relevant to this section of our answer. So if we're talking about, we saying, hey, the first thing you need to do is you need to find a profitable market and you need to get a high converting offer. Well, you can actually link to a blog post where you break down the entire process of finding a high converting offer. This is just hypothetically for the example for someone who's in this industry here. So if you're in the health and wellness niche, then if someone's asking a question on what's the best way to lose 20 pounds in the next 14 days, then you can break down your answer into like 4 different sections. And part 1 of your answer can be, restructure your diet, write down your game plan for how you can rearrange your diet around to best be more healthy. And then the second portion of your answer can be you start talking about exercise, and the third portion can be you start talking about environmental factors to the people around you. So this is all stuff to consider. And then you want to always have a blog post on your website that's relevant and related to that either portion of the answer or just the whole answer as a whole. This is just an example, by the way. It doesn't have to be structured exactly like this. The whole idea is for your answer to have just a bit of information, kind of just you feed them just a portion of the answer, and then in order for them to get the rest of the answer, they have to go to your blog post. So that's the whole idea, and that's how you get traffic. And as you know, with our blog post template that I provided you, it's all optimized and designed to get people to click on the call to action below the content, as well as on the lead generation side of it with the sidebar, because we have our opt-in incentive. So we got like not only are we just collecting subscribers, but we also got call to actions to our offer. So that's the whole idea here. And you can actually have people either go straight to like a blog post or you can send them to like a newsletter style page where it's a content, and then you can link it directly to your offer. You can just send them directly to this, so long as the content is is structured in a way where it looks like a blog post if you don't want to use your blog post. Because with the blog post, you're basically sending people to your sales funnel. But if you're more strapped for cash, you're trying to make money now, then you can send them directly to the sales page by just sending them to the newsletter page. Well, I don't recommend doing that as a beginner when you're just starting out. I recommend building up your list and building up your sales funnel. So link them to your blog post, and that way they can get a good feel for you and your style of content, and that way they'll be more incentivized to opt into your funnel. And even if they don't buy right now, then you still have their email for later. You're able to follow up with them. So that's the whole reason why, because although they might not want to buy right now, they may want to buy in the future. So you just want to bring them into your ecosystem and position yourself as an authority in this field. And this is an outstanding way of doing that. So you just want to use this template here, whether it be 3 different parts to your answer, linking them to a blog post, in which the blog post links them to your sales funnel. And inside of your sales funnel, we got training pages, we got newsletter pages, and below each one of those, they all have a link to their offer, which is basically we send them to the bonus page. But you can also change that to where the area where we have set it up our bonus section on our newsletter pages right below the video. You can actually just change that to have it go directly to your offer, and that's completely up to you. It's totally customizable. But this is pretty much the layout here for when we go to these question and answer platforms. Now, in the resource section, you'll notice that I have a link here that goes to Quora, but underneath the video, I also have alternatives to Quora. So in 2021, they actually discontinued Yahoo Answers because it just didn't have the popularity that it had in the past. While simultaneously, Quora was actually increasing in popularity. They were getting a lot more activity, engagement, and traffic. And just to kind of give you an idea of the amount of traffic that you can get, I'll just show you some of my answers. I don't answer as much as I used to before, but when I did, just on a monthly basis, even still, I get a lot of feedback. Okay, so in this case, so this is when I was around the time I was still kind of new in this industry 5 years ago, and I was just basically leading people back to my blog. But I was answering a question, and someone was asking, they're looking into getting into drop shipping, which products would be best for drop shipping beginners to sell. And I really just kept it simple. I gave them a list and sent them directly to my website, which is honestly, I don't recommend doing this. This is a very outdated strategy. Even though it's direct and to the point, you can try it, but I honestly recommend giving them more value, and then for an example, like if you just look at even some of my older answers, I kind of went into even more detail, and then I use it as an opportunity to link people to my blog at the bottom. But the idea is with this layout here, what you want to do is you want to have, like, in each part of your answer, you want to link people to their blog post. So just multiple times inside of the answer, just link people to just relevant blog posts that are related to what you're talking about. So long as it makes sense and it makes sense as far as what you're talking about and is related. When they go there, it's continuing the conversation that's already being had. It's not something completely unrelated. So that's the idea here. And as you can see here, I kind of did something similar here. I just basically provided them some resources. But what you can do is you can actually, the resources that you provide, you can have your affiliate link. Like, so whatever, if that platform provides like an affiliate opportunity, you can use that as a means to, have people click on those links, rather than, in this case, I just put a bunch of different links because I was just answering that question. And then I use my website at the end to kind of blend in with the resources. So it was a natural feel. By the time they click on this, they already clicked on all these. So they'll go ahead and just save this in their bookmarks as well. Now, this was, I believe, about 5 years ago. And as you can see, 6.7 thousand views. Now, that is over time. And so, like, it gets like a couple, maybe a dozen or so a month at this point, just 5 years later, but it still gets people reading the content on a consistent basis. This has 336 views, so it doesn't really, it seems like that this one kind of capped off. But I just answering these people's questions, and they do basically, what they do is they read and they click on the links. So I highly recommend that you use this strategy for these question and answer platforms. What I've also done for you alongside with the limitless traffic formula, you can read this. It'll break down the answer format for the forums and the question and answer platforms. You can use this layout, and I'll go into great detail here, and I'll also talk about the different Q&A platforms in the limitless traffic formula here. But what I also want to share with you is why I call this the LTF times two, the limitless traffic formula times two, is because what I'm giving you now is the Q&A platform checklist. What we want to be doing in our answers. Now, this is something brand new here that I highly recommend that you do in regards to your answers. So you're going to be using this layout here that's provided in the LTF. Basically, let's go back to the answer format, and this picture here, you can use this layout, this template here, and as you structure your answers like this, you want to go down this checklist. So you want to use keywords that are relevant to your niche in your answers. So basically just making sure that you have long tail keywords or even short keywords that are all related and relevant and stuff that people are searching for in the searches. This will help your answers show up in the search results when people are looking for information on a specific topic. You want to provide detailed and thorough answers. As I was saying earlier, the more value, the better. But people are more likely to engage with answers that provide in-depth information and solutions to the questions. They're highly likely to click on the links the more you demonstrate to them that you know what you're talking about. You want to use images, videos. Now, as I showed you in my answers, I don't have many images and videos, but some of them I actually have like maybe one or two. So I definitely can step my game up in that regards. Images and videos is going to absolutely explode the results that you get. If you think that this is impressive, which it isn't actually, but some of these has a couple of thousand views, you that'll actually go up significantly if you add images and videos. And it doesn't have to be like a whole image gallery. Just fill up the content with images and videos and bold the text here and there, italicize it. Sort of use the SEO checklist as kind of like a guide, if you will, if you like. And basically, you want to use images and videos and other multimedia to make your answer more engaging and visually appealing. Make it easy to read, format it nicely with paragraphs. You want to have bullet points, headings to make it easy to read. Use internal linking to your website, as I showed you before, to provide more detailed information and resources on the topic. Really, really great way to go, especially if you can have the majority of those resources and subjects and challenges and problems solved on your website rather than sending them to other people's website. And you can engage with the other users by responding to comments and thanking people for upvoting your answers. So if you see someone is upvoting your answers, a lot of times with Quora, you're actually able to click on it and see, who actually upvoted. So if I would click on view 5 upvotes here, it'll actually show me those people. So you can actually engage with those people. You can go to their profile and contribute and reciprocate the engagement there, and that's a great way to increase and maintain retention as far as like a fan base, a loyalty, etc. Make sure your answers are well written and free of grammatical errors and spelling mistakes. Although I do want to say that you shouldn't intentionally misspell words. It really doesn't matter. It actually humanizes you more when you have a couple of misspellings here and there. They actually ran tests on that when in regards to conversions. Well, person, I forget what his name was over in one of the conventions in 2013, but it was one of those click tracking type conventions. So people just basically go to talking about click tracking. And one guy he ran a split test on a sales page, and one of them actually had a misspelling, and the other one didn't. And the one that had a misspelling had higher conversion. So it's just something to think about. That was just an isolated test. So I do highly recommend running your own test. But you do want to make sure that it's well written, and the more free of grammatical errors the better, because you do want to present some type of professionality, and you want to come off as an expert in your field. So someone who has a bunch of grammatical errors and just misspellings all over the place doesn't really look like they're really that serious and that much of an expert. They could be, but they're just it's not really that professional. So the next checkbox is you want to participate actively on the platform. The more you participate, the more likely you are to be seen as an expert and increase your visibility. And you want to monitor your answers. Keep an eye on the question and answers that you've posted and update them if necessary to ensure that the information remains accurate. You can always go back and edit your answers. You can go back as far as you can see 5 years ago. I'm able to edit this right now if I wanted to. Just edit the answer. So that is something to keep in mind if you have something that's kind of like needs to be optimized, if the information that you posted, months ago or even years ago is outdated, you can always go back and update that. And I believe, I'm not sure if this is true or not, but I believe if you edit something, you make an adjustment to a previous post, it triggers something in the algorithm where it actually surfaces up on the homepage of users. So it's just something to think about there. But getting back to actively participating on the platform, just spending more times in the different spaces. Quora offers a lot of different places where you can hang out, especially like Reddit. They break these communities down into different sub niches and sub communities. So I highly recommend that you go into these different subcultures and these communities and hang out, participate in the community discussions and comment and get to know people. Don't just be like someone who just comments and spams and then just leaves. Even though you're providing immense valuable content, if you're using the structure that I'm providing with you in this video and you're going down this checklist, you're not going to come off as someone who's spamming. But if you're only answering questions and you're not asking questions, it just kind of looks like it's a one-way street. So I mean, the more you participate, also you're able to get more engagement and more people to your profile. And also you're showing Quora that you're an authority figure on that platform. So a great way to find these different communities is basically just go to search Quora and type in your niche or whatever subject matter that your field is related to, and then just put it in search Quora, and then it'll come up. So what we want to also do is we want to look at the analytics. And so most question answer platforms, whether it be Quora or any one of the ones that are provided in this video, they have analytics, like built-in analytics that allows you to track the performance of your answers. So you can use this information to see which of the answers are getting the most engagement and use that information to optimize your future answers. That's really good information. And I highly recommend just going and seeing how other people are answering their questions and just continuously optimizing. And if you see someone doing something that you see is getting them a lot of engagement, you can definitely start to incorporate that. And by all means, you can add that to the checklist here. Build a relationship, as I was mentioning earlier. You can do this by actively participating in the forum, and particularly those who are active in your niche. By building relationships, you can increase the visibility of your answers and get more targeted traffic. And you want to share your answers. So once you've answered their question, if you feel like it's something that can help a lot more people out, and it's also a question that that a lot of people are asking, or even if you don't know that, it's good to just share your answers on social media platforms. And Quora, as well as the other platforms in the alternative section here, allow you the opportunity to share your content. So I recommend that you do that with any one of these platforms and just engage, actively participate. Use this layout that I gave you here in the limitless traffic formula. It's optimized to make your answers perform for you. So if you follow this format and just follow the instructions in the limitless traffic formula, I get into the etiquette and how you kind of want to not be so salesy and be spamming, but you can also get the job done in regards to getting a lot of targeted traffic to your website by answering people's questions and actually having real information. And you can, if you don't have an answer right away to someone's question, by all means use ChatGPT and just put their question in the ChatGPT and have it, if you want, you can have it write it in 4 different ways. That way you can just copy and paste that to other people asking similar questions. So that's just a little pro tip there. But you can use ChatGPT or you can use any other artificial intelligence software, especially if you're just getting started. But the whole idea is to provide valuable content and format it in a way where people, in order to get more information, in order to get the more information about the answer, just like only give them half of the answer and then link it to your blog post to see more of that answer. But you want to give them enough where it's actually helpful right then and there on the platform. Otherwise, people are going to flag your post. So that's just something to keep in mind. And that's pretty much it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. This is the question and answer platforms. Make sure you go through this checklist and make sure that you're using this layout in this picture here. And also, if you don't like Quora, by all means, try these other platforms. These are all has just as much engagement and activity here. And with that said, I will see you in the next video. See you then.